Monkey D. Luffy is a legendary character, but did you know how he could have looked originally? While I draw him, I'll share some interesting facts and show you how this speed paint is created. First, I make a rough sketch, outlining the main lines. Luffy could have looked completely different. In early concepts, his facial features were sharper and his expression was different. But the author decided that his smile should become the ultimate symbol of freedom. He is one of the few heroes who laughs even in the face of death. I add the outline. The hardest part is capturing his charisma. A simple face, yet it expresses so much confidence and carefreeness. Next, I refine the hair. His hairstyle may look messy, but it actually has its own structure. I add individual strands to make the hair look more voluminous and also play with the shape a bit to convey a sense of movement. In the anime, Luffy's hair is drawn simply, but in dynamic scenes it becomes more detailed, especially during battles. Why is Luffy's hat so important? It was given to him by red-haired Shanks, and it became the symbol of his dream, to become the king of the pirates. Every time he adjusts it, it's a sign that he won't back down. Now, I continue refining the line work. I make the lines sharper, define the shape of his face and the expression in his eyes. To make the drawing look livelier, I slightly thicken the lines in shadowed areas. This adds more depth. I also add slight movement to the lines of the hair and clothing to create a feeling of motion, as if Luffy is ready for a new adventure. Interestingly, Luffy's art style has changed significantly over time. In the early chapters of One Piece, his face was more rounded, but in the manga now, it has become more angular. This is noticeable even in his eyes. Previously, they were bigger and softer, whereas now, they are a bit sharper. You can also see this in the anime. In older episodes, Luffy's hat was bright yellow, but in newer ones, it has a more muted tone. Now our line work is done. Let's move on to coloring. I apply his skin tone across the entire body. I choose a warm, slightly tanned shade since Luffy is always in the sun. In the anime, his skin sometimes appears lighter or darker depending on the lighting, but the base tone remains unchanged. I add shadows for volume. Shadows are important to convey the shape of his face and body. I place them under his chin, on his neck, and around his cheekbones to emphasize his expression. Shadows also help highlight his muscles. Despite being lean, Luffy is quite strong. Now I add highlights. They make the drawing look more lively. I place small, bright accents on his skin, especially on the nose, cheeks, shoulders, and his well-defined abs to create a natural lighting effect. Next, we color his clothing. His iconic red shirt always stands out. I use a rich shade, add darkened areas in the fabric folds, and a few highlights to give it more depth. Luffy's denim shorts are also important, so I add a characteristic texture and slightly blurred edges to make them look more realistic. Did you know that Luffy is the only character in One Piece who has no official romantic interest? The creator of the manga, Eiichiro Oda, said that Luffy is married to adventure and has no interest in love. However, fans often create theories pairing him with Nami, Boa Hancock, and even Vivi. And it's done. I think Luffy turned out lively and full of character. What do you think? Did I manage to capture his spirit? If you liked it, hit the like button and leave a comment on who I should draw next. And the most exciting part is coming up. Don't miss the next video. In it, I'll try merging Luffy with other characters and see what happens. What kind of fusion would you like to see? Luffy plus Demon? Luffy plus Venom? Drop your ideas in the comments.